Hi, I'm Claire. Today, we're going to learn the partial quotient strategy to divide. But first, let's start with simply 12 minus 4. Now, what do you think 12 minus 4 is? You probably know it's 8. Now let's take that 8 and subtract 4 more. What's 8 minus 4? That leaves us with 4. We can do it one more time. What's 4 minus 4? Well, 0. Now we subtracted 4 from 12 until we couldn't anymore. Let's count up how many times we took 4 from 12. Once, twice, 3 times. That actually means that 12 divided by 4 is 3. You just use the partial quotients method to divide. In partial quotients, we use things like addition and subtraction because it's usually easier for us than division. To follow along today, you could simply watch this video, but if you want a worksheet, there is a free worksheet I'm going to be using today linked in the description. That worksheet looks like this, and I'm going to start by going over my example problem at the top. My example problem in this case is 2,048 divided by 64. Now to solve this using partial quotients, I've written out the steps. Step 1 is to set it up. To set up partial quotients, I'm going to put the dividend down first. The dividend is the number we're dividing, or the first number. In this case, 2,048. Now I'm going to put the partial quotient structure around it. That's a curved line here on the left, straight line across the top, and a long straight line going down. Lastly, to set it up, I'm going to put the divisor on the outside, 64. All right, step 1 is complete. I've set it up. Now, step 2, I'm going to predict at least how many divisors, 64, I can fit in the dividend, 2,048, using easy to multiply numbers. I'll show you what I mean. I predict I can fit at least 10 groups of 64 in 2,048. I'm using 10 because it's easy for me to multiply by tens. Now I've made my prediction. I'm going to move to step 3. Multiply the predicted number, 10 in this case, by my divisor, 64, and place it under the dividend. All right, so 10 times 64, we know that that's going to be 640. And I'm placing that product, my answer in multiplication, under the dividend. Now step 4, subtract the product from the dividend. This difference will be my new dividend to work from. Okay, so I'm going to subtract that product from my dividend, 2,048. 8 minus 0 is 8. 4 minus 4 is 0. I have to borrow here. That leaves me with 1,408. That is my new dividend to work from. All right, now I'm going to repeat steps 2 to 4 until I can't anymore. Back to step 2. Predict at least how many divisors I can fit in my dividend using easy to multiply numbers. Now I'm going to predict at least how many groups of 64 I could fit in my new dividend, 1,408. Well, last time I predicted 10, and it got me 640. This time I'm going to predict 20, because I know that 20 groups of 64 will give me 1,280. Now I've made my prediction. Moving to step 3, I'm going to multiply that prediction by my divisor and place it under the dividend. Well, 20 times 64 is going to give me double what 10 times 64 did. So that means my product will be 1,280. I place my product down. Now I can move to step 4, where I subtract. Subtract my product from the dividend, and that difference will be my new dividend to work from. All right, I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 0 is 8. I have to borrow. That leaves me with 128 to work from. Looks like I can repeat the steps at least one more time. Back to step 2. Predict at least how many divisors, 64, I can fit in my dividend, now 128. Now I know exactly how many groups of 64 I can fit. I know it's going to be exactly 2. Notice I'm placing that 2 in the correct place value under the 1s. We've got our 1s and our 10s. So I'm predicting 2. Now step 3, multiply that prediction, 2, by my divisor, 64. 2 times 64, or 64 plus 64, is going to be 128. Now I can move to step 4, where I'm subtracting, and I have 0 left. All right, now I can't repeat those steps anymore now that I'm left with 0. Now that I'm left with a value less than my divisor, I have to stop. Moving to step 5, the last step, I add up these predictions or partial quotients on the right. This is why that place value placement was important. Adding my 1s, 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2, and then adding my 10s. 1 plus 2 is 3. This means that 2,048 divided by 64 is 32. It's really like using repeated subtraction to divide. I, in total, took out 32 groups of 64 from 2,048. So my answer, my quotient, is 32. That's how I solved the example problem at the top. Now I'm going to do a couple more on this worksheet. If you feel like you've got it, feel free to stop the video and continue practicing on your own. But I'm going to continue on this worksheet here to our next problem. That's 192 divided by 12. All right, step 1 is set it up. To set it up, I'm going to put the dividend down, 192. Put that structure around it, curved line on the left, straight line across the top, and straight line going down the right. Finally, my divisor on the left-hand side. In this case, 12. All right, I completed step 1. I set it up. Moving to step 2, I'm going to predict at least how many divisors, 12, I can fit in the dividend using easy to multiply numbers. So how many groups of 12 at least can I take from 192? Well, I know I can take at least 10 groups of 12. Now moving to step 3, multiply my prediction, 10, by my divisor, 12. 10 times 12 is 120. I'm going to place that under my dividend. Next, step 4, subtract that product, 120, from the dividend. This difference will be my new dividend to work from. All right, 2 minus 0 is 2, 9 minus 2 is 7, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So that leaves me with 72 to work from. I'm going to repeat the steps because 72 is greater than 12, so I need to keep going. Back to step 2. Predict at least how many divisors, 12, I can fit in my now new dividend, 72, using easy to multiply numbers. So whatever numbers are easy for you works. I happen to know that I can take at least 5 groups of 12 from 72. So that's my prediction, 5. Step 3, multiply 5, my prediction, by the divisor, 12. I know that 5 times 12 is 60, and I'm going to place that underneath 72. Alrighty, now step 4, subtract that product from my dividend. 2 minus 0 is 2, and 7 minus 6 is 1, leaving me with exactly 12. So I can do those steps one more time. I have to stop repeating the steps when the number I have left is less than the divisor. So I can repeat the steps once more. Step 2, predict at least how many divisors, 12, I can fit in my new dividend, 12. Well, we know we can fit exactly one group of 12 and 12. Now I multiply that prediction by the divisor. 1 times 12 is 12, and I place that underneath. Now step 4, subtract. That's going to leave me with exactly 0. So I have to stop repeating those steps and move to the final step 5. Add up the predictions or partial quotients on the right. Adding them up, the ones place first. 0 plus 5 plus 1 is 6. And just a 1 in the tens place. That means that my answer, my quotient, is going to be 16. 192 divided by 12 is 16. All right. Again, if you feel like you've got it, feel free to stop the video. I'm going to do another 4-digit divided by a 2-digit here. All right. Step 1, set it up. Maybe you're starting to grasp how to do that. I'm going to put down my dividend, 1,394. Now I'm going to put the structure around it, curved line, straight line across the top, straight line going down. And I'm going to put my divisor, 82, on the left-hand side. All right, I've set it up. Now step 2, predict at least how many divisors you can fit in the dividend using easy to multiply numbers. All righty, how many groups of 82 at least could I fit in 1,394? I'm going to guess at least 10. That's my prediction because I know what 10 times 82 is. Step 3, multiply my prediction 10 by the divisor 82 and place it underneath. Now 10 times 82 is going to be 820. Step 4, subtract that product from my dividend. 4 minus 0 is 4. 9 minus 2 is 7. I have to borrow here. 13 minus 8 will leave me with 5. All right, 574 is my new dividend to work from. Since it's greater than 82, I need to repeat the steps. Back to step 2. Predict at least how many groups of 82 I can now fit in 574. Well, I'm not sure. And when you're not sure, it's always better to guess under. So I know I can fit at least 2 groups of 82. That's my prediction. Now I'm going to multiply, moving to step 3. Multiply 2 by 82. I know 2 times 82 is 164. And then I can move to step 4, subtracting. 4 minus 4 is 0. 7 minus 6 is 1. And 5 minus 1 is going to give me 4. Alrighty, that's my new dividend to work from. I'm going to repeat the steps again. Predict at least how many groups of 82 I can fit in or take from 410. Again, I'm not sure. Better safe than sorry. So I'm going to guess another 2 groups of 82 at least. Step 3, multiply 2 times 82. It's 164. And subtract. Moving to step 4 when I'm subtracting here. Leaving me with 246. So I can keep going. I'm going to take out 2 more groups. Moving back to step 2. I predict at least 2 groups of 82 can fit in 264. Moving to step 3. Multiply 2 by 82. I know that's 164. Moving to step 4, subtracting. 6 minus 4 is 2. I have to borrow. That leaves me with exactly 82. I can do those steps one more time. Predict at least how many 82s I can fit in 82. Well, exactly 1. Now 1 times 82 is 82. Moving to step 4, subtracting, and it's 0 left. So I have to stop there. Moving to the final step, step 5, adding up those partial quotients on the right. Careful about your place value. 0 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 6 so far, and then 7. And then a 1 in the tens place. Putting my quotient or answer at the top. That means 1,394 divided by 82 is 17. Awesome. Now there's a few more problems on this worksheet for your independent practice, but I'm going to do just one more example. I'm going to jump down to the challenge section of this worksheet. So if you're doing the challenge, you know how that works. In the challenge section here at the bottom, you get to write your own division expressions just by filling in the blanks. Now I'm going to fill in the blanks. I'm going to do the 3-digit divided by the 2-digit problem. And instead of me choosing the digits I want to fill in, so you know it's really random, I'm going to use dice. 2, 4, 4, 4, 3. All right, 2, 4, 4, 4, 3. That will give me 244 divided by 43. All right, now I can move through the steps. Step 1, set it up. Dividend goes first, 244. Put the structure around it. And divisor on the outside. I set it up. Now step 2, I'm going to predict at least how many groups of 43 can I take from or fit in 244. Now I'm not sure, so I'm just going to be safe and guess I can take at least 3 groups of 43. That's going to be my prediction, 3. Step 3, multiply my prediction 3 by my divisor, 43. 3 times 43. I'm just going to add 43 3 times to make sure. All right, that will give me 129. That is my product. 3 times 43 is 129. Now step 4, subtract. This will leave me with 5. This will leave me with 1. And this will also leave me with 1. All right, leaving me with 115 left to work from. I'm going to step since 115 is greater than 43. Step 2, predict at least how many groups of 43 I can fit in 115. Well, I know it's going to be at least 2 because 3 gave me 129. So 2 groups of 43 should fit. Now I'm going to multiply 2 by 43, or 43 plus 43. That's going to give me 86. Step 4, subtract. Borrowing to subtract here. That leaves me with 29. Since 29 is less than 43, I can't repeat the steps anymore. I have to stop, add up those partial quotients on the right. 3 plus 2 is 5. This means that 244 divided by 43 is 5 with a remainder of 29. When we have a number left here that's less than our divisor, it serves as our remainder. Now we could keep solving into the decimals, but I'm just going to stop at the remainder for today. So our quotient is 5 with a remainder of 29 in that example. So today we learned the partial quotients method to divide. Thanks so much for watching with me today.